We are sitting here at the All Business Podcast today, and we kind of want to have a little bit of fun. We've done a couple of things today, and we realized we are each business experts in our own right, and we've talked about that. But as we've talked about that, as we've been filming some stuff today, we've realized each of us have undergrad and even masters in things that have nothing to do with business, and I'll argue have everything to do with business. And I think it's a good lesson for every gym owner and every small business person. I get people that come to me all the time and say, well, I have this idea and I think it'll work, but I don't know financials and I don't know all that. And my answer is there's a lot of people sitting in large corporations in a cubicle with spreadsheets that know analytics and they know financials, and they could never go out and run their own business. A lot of you out there have the guts, have the ability. Do not let a lack of financial acumen stop you from doing this, because you've got everything needed. It's easy to teach you, and hopefully you can learn this from some of these podcasts. But so as we went through, my undergrad was in history and pre-law. I ended up getting an MBA much later. I've been in finance my whole adult life. Finance is, okay, let's look at the numbers. Again, what's my revenue? What are my expenses? Let's make sure that we have a good operations side, a good finance side, a good lead generation, sales, marketing. If you have those things, you're great. And you can hire people for the other things. Get a good accountant, get a good bookkeeper, support yourself in things that you don't necessarily like to do. And I notated up here earlier, curiosity is something that all of us share. Curiosity, if you're owning a gym or you want to go into a small business, there's something that makes you want to do that. You like whatever your widget is, whatever your service is, pulling it apart, putting it back together, and you want to take that to the masses, and you want to drive that ship a little bit. That's why you're an entrepreneur. So again, let us be the example for you. Jason will talk about his psych degree. I have a history degree. Casey had a philosophy degree. All of those things are curiosity about people and things and the way the world works. We've taken that and we polished those skills by getting our business degrees and being in business for years and learning on the job. I think each of us would argue that what we've done in practice is exponentially more beneficial to what we do every day to running our businesses than what we sat in the classroom and learned. So that's my experience with this. If you guys want to talk about yours.
So I can go next. I joke around sometimes and say, like, my MBA helped me this much in my business life, my entrepreneurial life, starting small businesses, even my corporate career. My MBA helped this much, and my degree in philosophy helped this much. So to me, my degree allowed me the opportunity to get really rigorous in learning how to think, how to break down complexity, how to formulate and refute arguments. These are all some of the most important things that you could do in the business world. And if I'm being totally honest, the MBA was great, but like a lot of the MBA was exposure to business so that I could get practice applying those skills in a different realm. And then more than anything, it was sort of the keys to get into that area. So I don't think I ever would have gotten a job in the corporate world just with that other degree, even though that was everything that I needed to prepare me for that job. I almost needed to show that I had some experience in the business world through a business degree before I was able to kind of break through. But more and more, I find myself being drawn to people that have the sorts of backgrounds, like something in history, something in psych, something in philosophy, all of these other areas, because kind of back to this theme, it shows a genuine curiosity about the thing rather than just like, I gotta make money, so maybe I'll just study business. And that's not to say that that's not an okay route. It's just, if that's all you've got over there, then I typically want to see that there's some curiosity somewhere else in your life. What are you passionate about? What are your hobbies? What are the things that make you want to go and understand the way that a thing works? So it's very interesting. I could go on all day talking about the ways in which my liberal arts degree impacted my business career, my entrepreneurial career. But it'll be also one of those things that I think we continue to return to throughout the podcast. And I think that you'll also see it come through in the personalities and the perspectives through which we all explain sort of the same sorts of things.
I'll elaborate on that a little bit. So over the years, I've hired hundreds of people, maybe over 1,000 people. one of the things that, first of all, one of the things you see in successful people is more liberal. You see a lot of liberal arts, especially in product development and product in software too.
They're either they're super successful or they're a barista.
Yeah.
Those are the two. So we're not necessarily making a claim you should all go and
but that's
spend
an
a bunch of money
important
on a liberal arts degree.
right? Because success kind of comes in this intersection of aptitude.
Yeah.
Like, do you have the aptitude to do a job? Do you have the capability, the aptitude? The capabilities that you lay on top of that are the skills. So it's really hard. Like, I work in that tech space right now. So I work in education. I've been working in education for about 10 years, building software for education. And the world of education is changing. Traditional ways of getting 4-year degrees and 2-year degrees and those things are changing. And people are going to be building skills. And it's highly unlikely that at 18 you know what you want to do with your life. So we're getting degrees in things that don't, like psychology. I love psychology. I got into psychology because I love the idea of industrial organizational psych and how interactions with human beings and their environments made sense. But we grew up this is blue collar world, right? Michigan is a blue collar space where you wanted to see how you could make the lives better for all these people that worked in these factories. That was where my passion was. But all kinds of factors led me to where I am today. The thing that you look at when you take that aptitude and the skills necessary to do a job and passion, you put those things together, you end up with successful people, regardless of whether they're entrepreneurs or whether they're software developers or whether they're professional coaches or baristas. It really doesn't matter. The amount of money you can make is probably significantly different, but whether you're successful at what you do is probably about the same if you've got those things aligned. And so getting a psychology degree did help me with engaging with human beings and interacting with human beings, but I had a passion for it already, right? So I learned some skills to do that, and I applied them to something else I was passionate about, which was building products and solving problems using technology. It's the same thing that comes through in a gym space. If you're passionate about the gym, passionate about these people and these communities, and you have the aptitude to do it, now it's a matter of putting all those things together and actually making it happen.
And I think I oftentimes recommend books to my clients as I'm consulting them. And one of those books is the E-Myth Revisited. I think it should be mandatory for anybody that's thinking about opening a small business. And the crux of the book is you don't want this passion, this thing you love, to turn into something that is drudgery and I've got to do it again tomorrow. So take that curiosity, take the things that you have that make you love whatever it is you do. If it's a gym, if it's being a trainer, if it's manufacturing something, being an engineer, being a barista, take that and if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to start a small business, make sure that you get the right team around you from the beginning. And I beat on that all the time, but it's important because if you get too far in and now you're just treading water, it's too late. If you can do it at the beginning and you get the right bookkeeper, accountant, insurance guy, banker, consultant, all of those things, you can take some of that, the drudgery of things you don't like off your shoulders. You can do the things you do like, and you can run with those, and the people around you will support you. And that's success. It's even if you didn't make a ton of money, you're doing what you love. But I'll tell you, when you're doing that and you have that right team in place, money comes. It follows. But you have to set it up right. So we all kind of backed into finance and running companies and all that. But it started with that seed of we love people. We love dissecting people and dynamics and what they do as it relates to business and society. And we built it on that. And my guess is anybody that's thinking about starting a small business or is in the midst of a small business, you've got that. And hopefully we can help you. If there's anything that needs repairing, fixing, cleaned up in your businesses, let us know, contact us, we'll help you with that. Or reach out into your community and see, maybe if you're a gym owner, you might have people in the gym that might be able to help you with some of that stuff. Because there's always, especially in CrossFit gyms, but in any gym, a diversity of characters and walks of life that can help you.
Or you might find yourself where you don't even necessarily know what the problem is. It might just be something as simple as like, I've got this stuff and I've got this business and it's kind of working, but it's kind of, I don't even know what the problem is. still have that conversation, because you might just not be able to see see the forest through the trees, or
Yep.
see
Yeah.
the trees through the
Yeah.
forest, right? And
Forest
just
through the
getting
trees.
somebody else's perspective, you might be shocked at how clearly they can see whatever the opposite of the
It
thing
does.
is.
It
that I
does
just
make a big
pushed.
difference.
Yeah, so I'd encourage you, even if you don't know what the problem is, but you think there's one, at least start that conversation and see if one of us or somebody that you trust might be able to help clarify it for you.
Yep.
All right, thanks guys. Hopefully that helps, and again encourages people that, I don't know that I have business acumen. I didn't get my degree from Harvard. That's okay. I work with a ton of business people every day, and most of them don't have those degrees, and the ones that do, that's not what they lean on. They lean on their interpersonal skills and the people around them. So hopefully that helps you have the courage to go forward and open that small business, stick in there with your existing business, and make it even better.